Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Art at Home with Mrs. O. This week we're going to upcycle. I'm sure you've heard of recycling, but I'm curious to know if you've heard of upcycling. Upcycling is when you creatively reuse materials or products to make something new. We're going to make upcycled owls. However, one reason why I love art so much is because it's unique to each person. So if you decide that you want to make another creature, that's totally fine. You'll need to gather some materials. I went straight to my recycling bin and I grabbed paper towel roll, some lids for jars, egg carton, yogurt container, bottle cap, lots of cardboard. So whatever you have lying around that you think would work for this upcycling project, grab that. Also, make sure that you're working somewhere where it's okay to get messy. I like to begin by cutting out the body of my creature, and I am going to do an owl, so I'll be cutting out the body of my owl. So I guess it's kind of like a rectangle, and then I've rounded off the bottom edges just a little bit to add some softness to the bottom of my owl. So I think that works for the main body, but now I'm going to make a head. And I'm going to use my cardboard as well because that's a great material for this. So I want the head to be the same width so that it lines up with the body. So I'm going to use this piece that I cut the body off of, and I'm just going to make more of a square this time because I don't want the head to be taller than the body. The head needs to be shorter. So something like that, but owls have little ears on either side on the top of their head. So I think I will round the bottom corners off so that, again, the bottom of the head of my owl, I would like that to be a little softer, not such sharp edges, because people and animals, we have a little bit more of rounded edges to our features normally. So I'm just gonna kind of round that off. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm gonna swoop down and I'm gonna make either ear on the top of my owl. And you could do this if you decided to work for and do the owl as well. You could make the ears separate and then put them on, or you could make them all cut out of the same piece. So it's totally up to you. And you're just gonna kind of, sometimes you have to try again. Sometimes it doesn't work out the way you wanted. And sometimes it's just a matter of keeping with it and sticking with it and making the changes that you need to make until you're happy with what you have. So don't give up too fast. It's not always easy to make things look the way you want them to look. It takes time, patience. And let's remember that we are not striving to be perfect. We are just trying to do our best, and our best is perfect. All right, so I'm pretty happy with the head, but now I'm noticing that the body is not aligning very well, meaning that the body is now wider than the head because of all those extra cuts I kept doing to make it the way I wanted it to. So now I'm going to go back to my body and cut that a little bit so that the two pieces will work together a little bit. bit nicer and smoother. Although they're separate pieces, it's one animal, one creature. It's the owl, and I want all these pieces to come together to make the whole creature. Okay, so now it's looking a little more like an owl. And again, I might have to go back and kind of fix up the top of the head or the bottom, different areas until I'm really happy with it, but it's looking pretty good. Okay, so I know that owls have really big eyes. They're so cool too. They kind of glow at night, it almost seems like. So when I went and grabbed my materials, I thought about these jar lids, and I thought these would be really great for the eyes. So that was kind of my game plan when I was gathering my materials. And I do think they're gonna be cute. I think they're gonna be really big on the size of my head, but I almost like that because it's kind of like a little over the top to really get the point across that it is an owl. I could also put them this way. That's actually really cool. So flip them. I like the back. It looks more like an owl to me. So I am gonna start assembling, and all you're gonna use is just some Elmer's glue, or if you have craft glue, that would work as well. And remember, you have to, and I just almost forgot, you have to twist the top of your glue so that it's open. And then you get your glue out. And you're not gonna make a puddle. You're just gonna put enough glue around the edges and a little in the middle. Didn't go overboard, it's not flowing off of here. And just place it where you want it. And glue does not dry right away. It's not instant. So it is working. It's doing what it's supposed to do, but it's not going to be stuck, really hold onto that piece until it's dried. So I can't go waving this around yet because the glue hasn't dried. All right. And I'll put the second eye. And I also like to push them down. Like whenever you're gluing two things together, you're gonna wanna put a little bit of pressure. So just kind of put some weight on it for a minute, and that will help to hold it in place so that it really sticks on. Okay, so I have my head. It's kind of cool. And I'm gonna go back in and do a little trimming. All right, so now I am ready to attach the head onto the body. Oops, see what I'm saying? You have to wait. Guilty. So I need to wait until that dries before I go wailing it around. But I can keep it flat like this, and I can glue these two pieces together, and then I can kind of let them both sit for a few minutes. There's no rush. So I am going to just let those pieces hang out and dry so that the glue can do what it needs to do, and I'm gonna come back to it in a little bit. My wings have dried on my owl, and now I'm gonna do a little trick to add some texture onto the wings. So this is just corrugated cardboard. That means it has a ripple in it like this with the cardboard. And I'm going to remove the top layer. And this is kind of tricky. You might need some help with this part. but you're gonna try and peel up just the very top layer of this cardboard, and it's gonna reveal this really cool texture underneath, which I think will work nice on the wings. So, like I said, it's a little tricky. If you can see right under there, so that ripple, that kind of like tunnel effect is what I want to reveal. So you're gonna wanna take your time if you decide to do something like this. Take your time so that you don't rip it too much, you know, and try and just peel that back. This one is working much better. Just like that. So that's how you want it to work, to give you that awesome texture of the wing. The other side, however, did not want to work as nicely. So it's really up to you now. Use the supplies you have to add any other details that you would like to add to your owl. So here's my finished upcycled owl, and I hope you guys had a great time being creative with me. I can't wait to see you next week. If you'd like to share your artwork, you can upload it to the Art Google Classroom, or you can email it to me at jennifer_orison@wrsd.net. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.